Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another Total War Warhammer online battle. In today's video, we are going to be playing as Bretonnia with an Empire ally against the Vampire Counts and Chaos. Interestingly enough, we are actually playing with the same group of people who played in the last episode that we did, in the last online battle I posted. So same teams, just different factions and a different map, I believe, as well. And I do kind of want to hit a little bit on army composition in this one. So Bretonnia, who I am playing as, they do not have very good infantry. In fact, all of their kind of main infantry units are pretty garbage. They're very good for their price, but they're just cheap. They don't have any really solid infantry, and that's because their faction hasn't even been fully finished yet. They do, however, have very good cavalry, and they have arguably the best flying capabilities in the game. So they do have some things going for them. I brought a bunch of spearmen-at-arms with shields, and I think I brought a couple of pole arms in here as well. Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. I did bring a couple of peasant bowmen and a field trebuchet, and then I brought a unit of Pegasus Knights, 2 paladins on Pegasus, and then a lord. I probably should have brought King Lewin Leoncoeur instead, or maybe it's Leon Leoncoeur. I don't know. I have to look. Either way, so that's what I've got going on, and then I also have 2 Grail Knights down here. My Empire ally brought a ton of spearmen, a couple crossbowmen, a couple of mortars, or a mortar, 2 great cannons, Karl Franz, an Amber Wizard, and then some more spearmen. He did bring 1 unit of demigriffs with halberds, which is good. But that's basically our army, and then he's got a couple of outriders up here, forward vanguard deployed. As far as Chaos, pretty typical Chaos army, some Chaos warriors, some Chosen. Looks like the Everwatcher Big Bird came along for this one as well. We got some Dragon Ogres, Chaos Warhounds. This may actually be the same Chaos army that was fielded last time. And then we've got the vampires over here with Mortis engines, skeleton warriors, some zombies, skeleton spearmen, lots of cheap but not very threatening infantry, a vampire, some graveguard with great weapons. Those guys are a threat. The Sternsmen, a regiment of renowned graveguard, they're pretty tough. We've got the Dire Pack, and then this Mortis engine. So immediately, we've made kind of a mistake here. Both myself and my ally formed up right here. And that means that this whole flank is completely and totally unguarded, which is not good. So one of us should have shifted our line so we would form up like this instead, because right now the vampires can just run straight into our flank around this side. There's this big natural terrain formation right here that's going to block anything from going on there, but still, that's a problem. But we have basically set ourselves up to be flanked right before the battle gets started. Let's go ahead and dive into the battle here. And this is a battle where there were definitely some mistakes made. I wanted to show it to you, though, just to kind of demonstrate some of those mistakes. The Empire is going to open up with his artillery right away, start getting some of that damage in, and it looks like they are targeting these Chaos Warriors, or maybe it's on Fire at Will. Really, those mortars should be targeting something more high value, like these Chosen, for example. High value target with the mortar, because you're only going to get a limited amount of time to actually fire with the artillery, so I would be opening up on the high-value enemies, like the Chosen, like the Sternsmen if they were in range, etc. We are going to have the Outriders engaging right here, and hopefully they'll get pulled back in time. If they were set... There we go. Looks like he is microing and pulling them back. I'm moving my Flying Death Squad, as we like to call it, around the flanks here, basically looking for a target of opportunity where I can sweep in and do some damage. I also have my Grail Knights that I kicked out to the flanks here so they can come in and get some flanks going. You'll notice the Empire did manage to kind of form up a line over here, which is good with some of the spearsmen. And our opponents actually decided to the vampires decided, you know what, we're just going to charge right into the midst of all of this. So everything is basically attacking right into this area. This is where the main engagement's going to happen. And the only flanking force are these two skeleton spearmen. So not a great play there on our opponent's part either. The vampire army could have gone over and overwhelmed this flank very easily. But coming in, we've got all sorts of nasty things. We've got Chaos Spawn, we've got Chaos Warriors, we've got the Chosen, we've got monstrous infantry, all of the vampire stuff coming up behind. And my Spearmen at Arms are not going to hold. There is no way. They're not going to do well in this fight. I've got my archers firing at... I think I was focusing on these Chaos Warriors because they were closest. Over here, we've got all these monstrous, nasty units coming over this way. And I think they're going to try and basically dogpile these Demigryph Knights with halberds. My Grail Knights have been issued a order to come over here so I can get some rear charges going. But this is going to be bad. And you can see right here, just look at this chaos. Everything is happening right here, and it is not going to go well. This whole thing is just madness. There's no tactics here really going on. There's no strategy. It's just everything charge in at once and fight in the middle and have just a brawl. And that is not going to be a good fight for me or for my Empire opponent, because all we have is cheap infantry, and it's not going to go well. We'll be fine over on this flank over here, but this main line is not going to last. You can see a lot of the Spearmen at Arms and my Bowmen are already wavering, already falling apart. The Empire infantry is falling apart. Over here, the Empire has committed some forces to dealing with this massive enemies. I do have my Grail Knights in here trying to get some rear charges and stuff like that in place, but they're not being very effective. My Death Squad is basically wrapped up all in this. I got my Paladins caught over here in this massive nasty stuff where they're gonna do okay, but that's not the way that you want to use your Paladins as Bretonnia. You want to use your Air Force as a very precise and targeted strike squad to take out specific targets of opportunity, because that's really what flying units are very good at, and I did not do that in this battle. My Grail Knights are falling apart. Down here, I've tried to send my Grail Knights in to help in this fight, but now I've just left them in there. I'm not microing them very well. I do have some units back here that I'm trying to kind of reform and get back together. My Lord is over here, just kind of looking for targets of opportunity again. I do need to take out this Mortis engine, so you can see me charging in to do that, basically trying to get some damage in. And I've got my Pegasus Knights coming in to help and to hopefully deal with these Spearmen. But this fight is not going well. We are losing the center, and that's where the majority of our troops were all kind of committed. We've also lost over here on this flank. Really? Here. This flank, that was way more difficult than it should have been. We're going to lose on that flank. I am kind of reforming and regrouping over here with some of my Spearmen. Bretonnia's infantry have very low leadership, so you so much sneeze at them and they will rout. So I've got some units back here that are actually relatively healthy, but kind of ran away. I've pulled them back, and unfortunately, they're just sitting here because I'm basically trying to focus all my micro on getting this Mortis engine out of the fight, because it's one of the more high-value targets that the vampires have. But at this point, they're just sending their chaos stuff into my infantry that was just sitting there. I've told a couple things to come in here and kind of help, but they're running away. Everything is falling apart. I've got my Grail Knights over here getting charged at by these Dragon Ogres. They're going to run off as well. Yeah, this has not gone well. Partly for a number of reasons. And if you can't already tell, this fight is not going to turn itself around. All of my stuff is basically running away at this point and routing. A lot of them will kind of rally and come back and form up over here and then get smashed again. And proceed to continuously doing that. Wow, words are hard. I've got my one paladin and my lord trying to do stuff, but they're not going to be able to hold up against this many opponents. Now, I should note, a lot of the enemies left at this point are really not high threat targets. We're talking skeleton warriors, zombies, skeleton spearmen. Nothing there that's really threatening. The chaos infantry is significantly more threatening, like these chosen, but not a whole lot of stuff left from the vampires. The problem is that there's just so many of them. There's no way that my lord, or even my lord with Grail Knight support, or anything that I've got left on the field is going to even be able to put a dent into all of these opponents. There's just too many of them left. You can see they have over twice our numbers remaining. And they started with about an extra 500-600 guys. So we're outnumbered, we're outgunned, and they're just all kind of converging at this point and saying, well, you're done, have a nice day, thanks for playing, come again. So this is not going to go well, and at this point, there's really no tactics or strategy to show because it's all kind of fallen apart, and it just goes to show that initial setup and army composition is very, very important. We've got kind of our initial area. We all formed up over here, and we shouldn't have. One of us should have formed up on this side, one of us should have formed up on this side, and we should have each worried about strategically dissecting our own foe rather than just having everything dogpiled in the area over here where it could just fall apart and end, because there was no strategy there, and we were outnumbered and outgunned. Not only did our opponents have superior infantry in a lot of ways, they also had more of them. So there wasn't a whole lot we could do in this fight once it just became a brawl. If I'd been able to effectively use my death squad, my flying death squad, and my cavalry, could have been very different. Same goes for the Empire. If they had been able to use their demigryphs and some of their other tools that they had at their disposal, maybe this battle could have gone a lot differently, but in this case, that's not how it turned out. We were just outmatched right from the beginning, and due to the way we set up and the way we played, it didn't go very well. So, we lost that one. You can see most of my units. This unit of Grail Knights did very well, 152 kills. My field trebuchet got 85 kills, which is decent. My lord got 54. Everything else really just kind of fell apart. Chaos did pretty well across the board. Chosen doing very well. Chaos Marauders doing very well. Big Bird himself got 107 kills. So Chaos did pretty well overall. And then the vampires, these Dire Pack actually did very well. His Graveguard did okay. This unit of Skeleton Spearmen did okay. For the most part, though, relatively low. There's just so many of them, though. We were just outnumbered in a big way by the end of that fight. And then the Empire, nothing there. The Mortars actually did all right. They got 114 kills. Karl Franz got 82. And this unit of Spearmen got 69. That was about it. But the Demigryphs definitely didn't get their money's worth there. Certainly didn't get their money's worth out of the cannon. Crossbows did well. I would say that's good for the crossbows. All in all, I think this army could have been picked a lot better. And I think we certainly could have utilized tactics a lot better as well. I just want to jump into the custom battle here, just kind of as an example. If I was to do this again, I would go with Lewin Leon Kerr. Lewin Leon Kerr. Okay, got the name. Got it. Okay. I would put him on his special Hippogriff, Beaquis. As far as abilities go, some of these I would tweak. Some of these abilities are actually very good. I would get rid of Foe Seeker. I would get rid of Deadly Onslaught. I'd probably keep Stand Your Ground. That's very good. That's the regeneration. That's very good, and one of the reasons that he's actually worth using. Map wide bonus there. That's pretty good as well. And then the Sword of Couronne is actually a really nice hex. that doesn't require Winds of Magic. So I'd probably keep that as well. So I'd get him, probably get a couple of Paladins, put them on the Pegasus, and then these are really going to be part of your Flying Death Squad if you're going to go that route. So you really don't need these abilities because they're not going to be in the midst supporting your guys. And then probably give them a potion, either a potion of toughness or a potion of healing. Either way, just something that they can stay in the fight a little bit longer. One advantage that Bretonnia has is they can field quite a few units. So you can get a lot of these various guys here. You know, decent-sized army, and then you can field some Knights of the Realm, maybe. Maybe we take 3 Knights of the Realm, a unit of Pegasus Knights, and then we've got a little bit left over where we could maybe take some more Spearmen. I mean, you've got there almost a full-size army with some very nice tools at your disposal. You got the Spearmen at Arms, you got some missile infantry, couple men-at-arms, basically halberds, to help fend off nastier cavalry. You got your Flying Death Squad, and you got 3 units of halfway decent cavalry as well. Knights of the Realm are not bad for their price. So this would probably be a better army composition, and it would be much better to actually line up properly in a way that makes sense. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.